Have you heard of the Nipah virus? Have you heard about an event planned where 280,000 people gone? Have you heard about not staying in cities? Have you heard about animals perishing? Biological warfare, mass casualty event. It's crazy to think about that, but July 4th, there's been people talking about the dangers of July 4th. Now, does that mean something's going to happen? No, the point is, what this gentleman is sharing, he's saying if we bring awareness to it, it won't happen. He said it's just like September 2001. He says just like March of 2020. All these things were war gamed, and no one wants to actually talk about the truth behind some of this. If we don't pay attention, things like this happen. So, have you heard about the biological warfare attack that is planned for July 4th? Today we're going to talk about it. Mind-blowing, but to be honest with you, just planned out. I'm going to read some of the script to you, and you won't believe it. Let's dive in, and then we're going to talk about the personal reaction that we should have as preppers, as sustainable livers, as someone who wants to be in the know, but also, even though we can't control things, we can at least get ready and prepared. Prepared, not scared. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new, please go down here, press subscribe. Remember, we do a giveaway each and every month, and it is the 28th. So we'll be doing a giveaway in 2 days. We're going to be giving away a solar generator, a battery bank. Very, very important. So don't miss out on that opportunity to get into the drawing. All it takes is you subscribing to this channel. Also, Life with Colby Mac channel, both. Make sure you're subscribed to both of those channels. Comment below, give us a thumbs up. Let us know your thoughts on these videos, because we see in our analytics, we see that you're subscribed, we see that you are entered into the giveaway. It's like thousands of dollars worth of a savings by us giving this to you. So please make sure you are subscribed. Now let's jump into the video and the seriousness of this. Now, we always talk about being prepared. We always talk about our food system. We always talk about, living sustainable. The reason we bring these kind of dates up, though, is because things have been planned. And sadly, no one talks about these things. No one in the government seems to be messing with it and talking about it. But I want you to listen to the war games. Now, if you remember, things like 2020 was war gamed in 2019. Things like 2001 was war gamed years before. I want you to listen to this scenario. And Dr. Martin has done a great job of shedding light of this. In April of 2024, there was an event taking place. It was called Blueprint for Biodefense. It's immediate action followed by threats of biological warfare. They talked about it being the Nipah virus that affects us, affects animals, livestock, and the dangers of it. Listen to this. It says, this is a non-segmented, single-stranded, negative-sense RNA virus belonging to the genus Nipah virus family. NIV viruses, acute encephalitis, and respiratory disease in humans associated with high mortality poses the threat in most places that it is dropped. Now, the reason I'm telling you is July 4th, here's my thought pattern. Does that mean you just kind of end your whole celebration? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Just be aware. Things that we're not doing. We're not going into the cities. We're not doing any kind of big fireworks, at a stadium or in a big city. New Orleans is only about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours from us. They do a monster firework demonstration. I don't want to put myself in that situation, because they said this is actually what could take place. So I challenge you to stay out of the cities, kind of hunker down there in that day, celebrate July 4th and the Independence, but not to a point where you're scared, but understand that there is a risk out there. I want you to listen to what was said. This was April 2024. Listen to this. The U.S. House of Representatives Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence and the Senate Committee on Intelligence. Here's how it went. I call this first hearing of the joint inquiry to order. 9 weeks ago, some nation or terror group we still do not know attacked the nation's capital and several U.S. cities with a biological weapon on the celebration of Independence Day. Now, this is 2024, April 2024. The infectious agent used to harm or take life from 280,000 Americans and up to at least 400 sick throughout the country in one single day. In addition, 200,000 animals gone, 800,000 infected sick. will hurt our food system. These numbers increase with the disease spreading. We have to find our allies, and there's been several congressmen also fall ill. This was a gaming scenario. This was a fake meeting that they were gaming that was going to take place in 2025. July 4th, 2025 was when this was going to take place. Now you're like, Colby, people do this kind of stuff all the time. Do they really? Is it this serious? Why don't you listen to the names? There's a list of members of this committee. Some are just doctors, but there's two names in particular that Dr. Martin was talking about. Was Gerald Parker and George Post. Look them up. They're veterinarians. You know, this thing was based on Nipah virus and the respiratory issues, not just with us, but with livestock. What did we talk? We actually talked about this, if you remember, about 3 weeks ago, the dangers of this. And remember, if one thing like 2020, it controlled us. So it put us in homes. It put us where we couldn't go out. We couldn't go to the stores. What happens if the food system is involved too? This war game, this scenario of mass casualty didn't just affect humans. It affected animals alike. Think about that. Think about the control element of that. It says these two gentlemen, Post and Parker, helped build viral loads with a gain of you know what in building viral loads to teach biowarfare with animals. So we're doing gain of you know what to teach viral loads that what could happen to animals. And these two guys are on this committee of showing the war games of what will happen on July 4th, 2025. Is that not just strange to you? It can't just be coincidental. Now, the purpose of them bringing it up, Dr. Martin says, the more that we're aware of these kind of things, the less they'll take place. He said, think about 2030. Think how many times we pushed the fact that the reset. You know, we talked about that to a point where it started getting in people's mind where they started being reactive, and then they become proactive by electing people like Trump, like the person, in Italy, the person in Argentina, the person in the Netherlands. So we started making that change because we were aware of what was going on. We were not aware of 2020. We were not aware of 2001. But again, we were aware of 2030. Now we're aware of this one, and we need to bring awareness to it so that way people realize, look, it's not about being scared. It's about being prepared. Stay out of the cities on this day. Also make sure that you have the things that you need. The situation is the planners published this as a manifesto for July 4th. He said what they don't tell you is the unknown is who does it. He said actually the intelligence has more guidance on this scenario in biological warfare than anyone else in America. Now, does that mean it's planned? No. But that does mean that anytime some war game scenario, do you remember in 2020, in March 2020, when the other thing happened where we were locked down? Do you realize less than a year before that, they war gamed that in Israel and war gamed that in Europe? Do you realize that? The same exact thing, pinpointed the time it was going to take place, and all of a sudden it did. Do you remember Fauci saying the same thing, that Trump would face that? Now, we're seeing the situation now where these doctors, these people that build gain of you know what, are building viral loads. They're telling you exactly the dangers of this new Nipah virus. They're telling you exactly the capabilities of it. They're telling you the time frame that they're worried about. They're telling you the time frame of how you should not be in these situations because of the dangers of it. They're telling you the dangers of livestock. And we just rub it off as, oh, it's just the boy who caught wolf. Oh, that's all fake news. That's not going to take place. The thing is this, it doesn't have to take place on July 4th. The point is you need to be prepared because this kind of stuff would take place. It's a respiratory virus that they said could easily be done within the air or small disbursement during a fireworks show. He said that's how this could happen. So discreet that could absolutely make over 250,000 people sick and dying. And that's crazy to me that we're even discussing this. Here's my thought. Will something take place on July 4th? I don't know, the more we talk about it, I doubt it. Should we take into consideration of what they're saying? They developed this functionality of this single-stranded virus. I mean, that they're literally telling you what they've done. They've already developed this. They developed this technology, just like they did with the other one that they blamed in on bat. It was developed technology. They used veterinarians to do it on the animal side, and they used doctors to do it on the human side. Again, I always wonder why we even make these situations. But the situation is this. There has been a warning. There has been a mass casualty event, literally synopsis wrote out of what we would do if this takes place as soon as July 4th. Now, we're 1 week away. Does that mean it's going to happen on July 4th? No. But I will say this, I thought that was very strange. I don't know if you've noticed, and I cannot share the video. You have to go watch it for yourself because of situations. But I don't know if you've noticed this guy. Have you watched him on TikTok? And his content's been shared and went viral. He don't even talk about who he is. You can tell of what descent he is. But he keeps saying 5 days away, 4 days away, 3 days away. You're going to know us. You're going to know who we are. Is it fake? Possibly. It's around the same time though. The July 2nd, the July 5th window. Here's what I'm doing. And I'm just being completely honest. I'm not living scared. I'm literally going to work today. I have to go to work. I'm literally doing things in my garden, raising gardens. I'm raising animals. You know, if you're watching my other channel, we're nursing a sick calf that was born as a twin. My life will continue. But here's what I am doing. Number one, I have emergency preparedness medicine. I have the I word. I have things that can help me from having to go into town. Number two, the food that I've raised, what if all of a sudden something biological hits over in the atmosphere? Could it destroy what's on the earth already? Absolutely. You know what I did this last week? I stockpiled meat. Now, I personally, butchered my own and processed my own, but I didn't say you have to do that. You can go to town and buy some canned meat, canned protein, canned tuna. You can go and buy some beef. You can buy some chicken. It'd be good just to have. Number three, I also filled up all my propane. I filled up all my diesel, all my gasoline, and also charged up all my battery banks. It's just smart to have alternative energy always charged up. My solar panels got charged up with the battery banks. They're working properly, and we know that we are ready with alternative energy. We've put up the food, we've put up the medicine, and we've got the energy. Now, number four, I bought more defense this week. I made sure that no matter what, that if I have all this stuff, I can defend all this stuff. And number five, I'm staying away from places that I shouldn't go. I'm staying away from the big cities. I'm staying away from a lot of people that I may not know. Like, for instance, we're going out of town tomorrow. Now, we're going out of town not tomorrow. When I say that, we're just going like a few towns over. Not a big city, just a simple town event. It's a little church event, to be honest with you. So my goal is spiritually, I'm just preparing myself. But I promise you one thing. This next week, we're going to eat hot dogs. We're going to eat hamburgers, and we're probably going to grill out on July 4th. But I'm not going to put myself in one of these big cities. The attack literally says the capital in big U.S. cities. So if it happens or not, it probably wouldn't affect me as much if I just wasn't in the city, right? So I challenge you this. If you live in these cities, why don't you just take the day and get out? I mean, just stay away from them. If you think you want to go to a firework display, why don't you do one yourself? Why don't you go to some kind of church out in the country somewhere? Why don't you stay away from some of the most danger areas? Because again, we have threats from people that are literally saying they're going to cause harm around Independence Day. We literally have a whole war game scenario done last year talking about the dangers of July 4th, 2025, literally calling it out. And actually, part of this whole agreement was the push against Trump. Literally, these people are saying it will actually be more dangerous because we have a leader who believes in America first. So that is my reaction. I'm not going to be scared, but I am prepared. I'm doing these few things. Now, was that a lot different than any other time? No. But I just said I'm going to make sure that I'm alert and I'm aware. I'm going to make sure I have food. I'm going to make sure I have medicine. I'm going to make sure everything is gassed up. I'm going to make sure all my alternative energy is ready. I'm going to make sure that I stay out of the cities. And I'm also going to make sure that I'm just spiritually prepared, understanding the severity of it. Now, Colby, this is not going to happen. I mean, come on. You always say, be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. Here's my thought pattern. Did you buy life insurance and health insurance hoping that you would die or hoping that you would get sick and put in the hospital? I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. Someone we know that's our age had to have a heart transplant. And you talk about putting things in perspective. He said, I used to just go jump in my car, run, go straight to town, run errands, hated it, came back, did what I wanted to do. He said, now it's a chore to just go sit in my car. He said, I take such gratification just sitting in the car and driving, because now I realize I have a new heart. He said, so I don't take it for granted. Now, the point of what I'm saying here is this. He didn't plan to have a heart attack, but he had health insurance. He didn't plan to see someone go through tough times, but he was ready for it because he had disability insurance. The whole point of being prepared is not being scared and acting like you're going nuts and loco. It's not that. It's just having the insurance to know it's going to be okay. That if something were to happen, as hard as it may be, if something were to happen and challenges come, if we have to face something, I have the things that I need. It's just smart. Now, it doesn't mean you have to have things. It just means you're thinking outside the box. You're not just going to these events and lackadaisically just acting like it's all going to be okay. I mean, do you think it's wise to be in the big cities when they tell you July 4th is not good to be in the big cities? At the same time, did you know that FBI literally warned of this next week, the dangers during Independence Day? Do you realize that? So along with this situation, the FBI and the DHS are both warning that, just be very alert during the time of independence. Because it's such a time where America pushes American prosperity, American guidance, and there's people in the world that, they truly hate us. So again, focus on loving your family. Be prepared, not scared. Will something happen on July 4th? Hopefully not. Hopefully it won't happen at all. The more we are aware of these things, though, the more it won't happen. How did we stop the quote-unquote 2030 agenda? Well, we pushed off 2020 because we were aware. Because of Trump, because of things that we did, because we started making waves about it. It can happen again. But we have to talk about it. So that's why I'm bringing it up. My personal reaction is this. I'm prepared for every day. I'm prepared that something can happen literally each and every day. Does that mean something will? No, but I'm the same way. I upped my insurance. I bought insurance on a car the other day. I changed some policy things around. I renewed some policies. I didn't do any of that hoping that my house would burn down, hoping that I would be sick, hoping that I would have to use life insurance. I didn't do any of that because I wanted to use the insurance. I had it because it was a safety measure. Why do we prepare? Why do we stay alert and vigilant? Is so we can just be ready just in case. Guys, pay attention. We are 1 week away from July 4th. Does that mean that we're going to see danger in July 4th? No. Here's what I'm saying, though. If we're prepared, like every day could be a bad day, and we go on and live our day knowing that we have what we need, it's going to be okay. We don't go through life scared. We go through prepared. We go through alert. We go through like a gray man, but at the same time with our head on a swivel. The 5 things: self-defense, emergency preparedness, food, alternative energy, and then staying away from some of these dangerous areas that literally have been threatened to us. That's just smart policy. It's kind of like having insurance. Smart policy. Guys, let me know your thoughts on not just July 4th, but overall. If you want to look into this more, look at what Dr. Martin said. You can read this whole, I'll leave a link. I think I got a link to this whole presentation of this national blueprint for biodefense. They spent millions on building this up. Millions on talking about the Nipah virus. Millions on building the function of it, if you get what I'm saying. And why do they do that? Just for the heck of it? The same war game scenario happened right before 2020 and right before September 2001. Go back. Do your own research. Does anybody remember? Look, for instance, I want you to look at this. Event 201. Just look it up. Look it up. And I'm telling you, you're seeing the exact same thing happen here. Pay attention. Guys, thank you for watching. Be alert, be prepared, and know that it's going to be okay. No matter what, physically preparing, mentally preparing, psychologically preparing, all that's great. But spiritually prepare. More than anything, lean on spiritual things, on God. Because if we were just supposed to go through this world and have no hope and faith in something other than ourselves, it would be scary. But more than anything, please put your faith in God, in Christ, and knowing that it's going to be okay. He gives us a mind to be smart and wise. But pay attention. The most important prepping you can do is spiritually prepping. Let me know your thoughts on today's video. God bless.